Hi friends, welcome to my channel. I've got an unboxing and this is a Oneness Emporium package that I'm opening. So I pre-ordered this one. Get out of the package. Yeah, this is a pre-order I made and it's arrived, so I know what it is. So again, we're in the purple theme and it is the Horror Tarot. Okay. So again, Cheryl's not including decks, cards from other decks, but is including the same thing I've had in the last few packages. Cheryl must have decided to alter the offerings. So we have this little charm here, which we had in the last two. Have the same one, this one, and in the other offerings we also had this pentagram, but not included this time. This time we have a stone and fridge magnet. Yeah. Okay, so I'm missing having the cards from other decks because I thought that was really nice. Anyway, let's have a look at the deck. So this is the Horror Tarot by Todd, Alcott. And I'll take the cellophane off first. I did do an unboxing of the Pulp Tarot, which is by the same creator, Todd Alcott, and looks to be in the same vein. So I'll link to the unboxing of this one, but as you can see it looks like a book. And it's done in a very 50s style. It's really nice. So yeah, I'll link to that below. It looks like we've got the same sort of packaging. So this one also looks like a book, but it's in green, whereas this one was like in red. And the same sort of art style from this creator. So what does it say? The creator of the Pulp Tarot returns with this kaleidoscope plunge into the world of horror graphics, guaranteed to send chills down your spine. Todd Alcott's Horror Tarot is a full tarot deck of 78 cards, with bespoke instruction booklet to guide you through the thrilling and terrifying world of the major arcana, and all four gasp-inducing suits of the minor arcana. Divine your future with bone-chilling images inspired by over 100 years of horror graphics, evoking movie posters, fan magazines, paperback books, classic comics and pulp magazines. Your fate is in your hands. And I love this, it's the Unemployed Philosopher's Guild. That is really funny. Okay, so yeah, this is the front, this is the side. So it's the Unemployed Philosophers Guild. And we've got like a horror type hand holding the cards up here. Interestingly, I'm thinking about going to the pictures tomorrow to see that new tarot film, which is it's a horror film, isn't it, based on the tarot, and see what all that's about. Oh, I know that's ink, although it's meant to look like blood, but yeah, I sort of recognise that ink. I love stationery as well, and I collect I have different inks, and I'm sure I've got this one. It's got like a touch of gold. Beautiful ink. So once again, we've got a booklet because we had the same sort of thing in the Pulp Tarot. So it's also got the year of the poster or the book in there, which is helpful. We have an introduction about each suit and what creative decisions they made for those suits, which is interesting. Then the major, a brief history of Horror Tarot Studios, founded in 1917. Oh, that'd be an interesting look at. Okay. So we've got paragraph for each card, really. Smaller paragraph for the minor cards. A short history of the Horror Tarot Writers Group. This looks a real fun book, actually. Very accessible, easy to read. let's look at the cards and then we'll look at the book. It seems real good fun. So we've got a red pull-out ribbon, so we can get the cards out of the box easily, and cardboard cutout that's black. These are the backs. Okay, they're not gilded, but we can see the design bleed through on the edge of the cards, which is nice. All lined up. So let's take a little look at the cards. So we have the Fool, who is a zombie just stepping up, a sleepwalker actually. Yeah, this is a sleepwalker stepping off the edge of a cliff. Horror Tarot presents Major Arcana card 00, the Fool, a symbol of enthusiastic innocence. You are beginning a vast journey in life, but you are not afraid of the challenges before you, because you live in the moment. So we've actually got the meaning of the card on the card. That's really cool, isn't it? Look at this for the Magician. He holds the power of all the elements in the palm of his hand. You can almost hear the person giving the commentary in this. Horror Tarot presents card number 1 in the Major Arcana, the Magician. The Magician is a symbol of manifestation and unlimited potential. He knows all and sees all. He is resourceful and pure, or he is a fraud and a charlatan. Proceed with caution. I'm not going to read every card because we'll be here forever, but you get the gist. It's really cool. The High Priestess. Oh, there's no card meaning on this one. But, yeah, look, holding the pomegranate. Brilliant. The Empress. She has everything a woman needs in abundance. She's at one with the forces of the mystical realms of the universe. Sorry, I can't help myself. This is really, really good. The Emperor. The Hierophant. Oh gosh. He sees through this material world and into your very soul. X-ray specs. Look at those eyes. Look at the lovers. Oh well. Love is grand, but it always leads to trouble. We've got like a volcano about to erupt here. The Chariots, this 50s type imagery here is so good. Nothing can stop the Chariots. You see, they're like posters, aren't they? Strength. A contest between the most powerful, most terrifying creature alive and a lion. The Hermits. I'm going to go back a bit quicker, I think. Wheel of Fortune. Pick a fate. Any fates. Justice. And we've got the scales on the back there as a tattoo. Cool. The Hangman. I like this deck. In fact, I think I'm liking it better than I did the Pulp Tarot. Death. Temperance. The Devil. Yeah, that's kept the lovers there on the Devil card, which is brilliant. The Tower. They were young, healthy, wealthy, beautiful, free, and in love. Until tonight. Oh, this is such fun. The Star. Moon. The Sun. Judgment. The World. Looks like an eye, doesn't it? Maybe. Okay, so we're starting with wands. Card number 1, the Ace. That's really good because we do have the meanings on some of the cards, which is great, isn't it? The 2, 3. So we've got some famous horror figures from films. the 5, 6, 7, number 8, the 9. These are done really well. Matching the images. It's amazing. This is amazing. So look at the core cards. The Page of Wands. Nice. Oof, it's Jack Nicholson. It always scared the bejesus out of me. Jack Nicholson. He's like, I think he's one of the most scariest actors around. Does it so well. The Queen and the King. Okay, cups. The 3. 4, 5, 6, love it, 7, 8, 9, and the 10. Page. Oh, that's lovely, isn't it? That innocence there. The Knights. Queen. They were so glamorous, weren't they? Movie stars in the 50s. The King. Okay, swords. Featuring inspiration, sudden insight, challenges ahead. Oh dear. That was so good. 2, featuring indecision, dilemma, potential risk. It's got it on all of them, I think. The 3, yeah, the 3. Oh, yeah, of course. The 4, 5. The 6. 7. The 8. 9. And the 10. An alarming tale of doom. Okay. We were meant to dissect a frog at school once, and I deliberately didn't go in because I could not face doing it. I couldn't face seeing this frog pinned down, ready to be dissected. I couldn't do it. I couldn't go. So yeah, I didn't go to school that day. Couldn't do it. The Knight, the Queen. Wow. The King. Okay, Pentacles. Manifesting your material goals. 2, 3. Oh dear. I know. Of its time, huh? They are actually creating a woman. The perfect woman. Or what they see as a perfect woman. Wow. Of its time, yes. The 4. Same sort of thing, isn't it? They're like, oh, the collection. Gosh. It's, okay, the 5. 6, 7, 8. Wow. The Apprentice. Oh my days. Oh. Well, it is a horror tarot and it's living up to its name. The 9. And the 10. The whole family's here. Okay, our page looks a bit Betty Boop. Knights. Dancing with Death. Queen. Oh, Batwoman. And the King. The man who has everything. I really like ending on the King of Pentacles on a walkthrough because that's what it is, isn't it? The king of everything. And yeah, I like that. I think what I'm going to do is, as always, take a major, a minor, and a court card and look at the guidebook. But what I might do is actually, out of interest, do the same with the Pulp Tarot. Okay, let's do that. So let's look at the Tower. I'm going to look at some difficult cards here. Okay, the Tower. We have... I'm quite interested in a really difficult one I found. I thought that was a bit... Oh! It made me step back. And then a court card. Yeah, I'm going to deliberately look at the ones that triggered me. You might find them fine, but for me they were a little bit, I don't know, they caused a reaction, let's put it that way. I had a reaction when I turned them over. And I think the Pulp Tarot is a little bit kinder. So both decks are American-based pulp fiction and horror story for this one and pulp fiction for this one, so we're along the same sort of inspiration for the decks. And with the Horror Tarot, let's look at the Tower. This is 1986. The Tower never really had a chance to succeed. Written and directed by the young Terence Malloy, who had shown great promise with his visually dynamic music videos. The Tower went into production without a completed script and was plagued with delays and cost overruns brought on by expensive location shooting. Malloy's initial director's cut was over 4 hours long and featured a dozen different subplots. The studio deemed it unreleasable and took over post-production. They finally released a 90-minute version that left audiences baffled by its dangling plot threads and bizarre narrative leaps. The story was conceived as a satire on yuppie culture. A young couple think they found the perfect investment property in an ancient tower in a remote corner of Scotland, but end up living in a nightmare. Malloy has gone on record as saying, "The thing I like about the Tower," the card, "is that it's one of the few unequivocal cards in the tarot. There are no two ways about it. The Tower is bad news. It represents sudden, dramatic, catastrophic change." The film, ironically, was very much a representation of catastrophic change for Malloy, who had never directed a feature before and never would again. So, yeah, we've got a whole backstory, I think, with this. I was sort of looking at the beginning a little bit, and it would seem we've got a fictional studios, so film studios, the Horror Tarot Studios, and I think there's a fictional book as well. I'm going to read this out, actually. Okay, just a little bit. So for the Major Arcana, thought it would be fun to play homage to the horror movies I've enjoyed since my youth. I dreamed up an imaginary movie studio, Horror Tarot Studio, populated it with imaginary filmmakers and created 22 posters for movies they might have made if they had existed. For the one suit, images are original paintings inspired by the work of the artist Basil Golgos, who created dozens of portraits of classic monsters in the 1960s and 1970s for the horror movie buff magazine Famous Monsters of Filmland. Golgos' paintings, with their psychedelic colours and dramatic sidelights, brought the black and white monsters of 1930s movies to vivid life. They have become definitive images in the minds of many horror fans, and I wanted to capture that energy for this suit. For the suit of cups, I wanted to honour the many days I spent in the 1980s reading the horror paperbacks of the time to give the suit a dramatic through line. I created a fictional writers group, also called Horror Tarot, and gave them a 14-volume masterwork that such a group could have produced over a decade of publishing. For the suit of swords, I wanted to create a tribute to the EC horror comics of the 1950s. EC published a number of sensational, weird, gory titles: The Vault of Horror, Tales from the Crypt, Weird Science, and many more. The covers of their comics were so over the top in their depictions of violence, sadism, lechery, and abject cruelty that they prompted their very own congressional investigation, which eventually led to their demise and the introduction of the Comics Code Authority. From this deck, I created a publisher called, you guessed it, Horror Tarot Comics, and dreamed up the stories you see illustrated here. For the suit of pentacles, I was inspired by covers from various horror pulp magazines of the 1930s and 1940s. Horror Tales, Terror Tales, Ghost Stories, Uncanny Tales, and many others. Like the EC comics that followed in their footsteps, their covers for these magazines usually featured lurid paintings of exceptional cruelty and torture, as mad scientists, foreign invaders, and red-robed cultists practiced their evil deeds. The fictional publisher of these magazines, Horror Tarot Publications, is unrelated to the comic publisher, the movie studio, or the Famous Writers Group. Okay, so that's the background. I should have said that at the beginning, but yeah, that's the background to the premise of the deck. So it actually helps me to understand it a little bit more in that context. The tower in the pulp tarot. By the by, this is more paper and this is more glossy paper. Just to compare. It says, uh-oh, here comes trouble. The tower is a tall building, but tall buildings are the first to be struck by lightning. This tower is in crisis, burning down under a stormy sky. Will anything be left of the tower by the time the fire has burnt itself out? Will humankind ever control the hubris that compels them to build towers ever higher, inviting greater and greater cataclysm? What tower have you built, and how much has your hubris blinded you to your tower's weaknesses? So you can see it's a bit of a gentler energy here in the pulp tarot. Oh. Beware, beware. The suit of pentacles. Oh, let me see. So it gives a little introduction in the guidebook to each suit and the premise behind each suit yet again. Okay, Three of Pentacles. This issue contains the perfect woman. About three mad scientists who team up to create a woman in a lab. The three scientists cannot agree on a proper procedure for their experiment, which leads to disaster. The Three of Pentacles is a card about collaboration and how people with different backgrounds can add value to projects. It's quite a small paragraph there. Here, I mean, we can see what's going on, can't we? This is definitely a plan. Collaborating for the same end. So let's see what the little book says. Three thieves plan a heist. Pointed to the blueprint is Mr. Big, the brains of the outfit, and the guy financing the job. Top left is the dame, whose job is to distract and seduce. Bottom right is the muscle, whose job is to do what needs to be done. The Three of Pentacles is about cooperation. It takes interdependent skills to make a plan work, whether you're building a cathedral or robbing a bank. The muscle isn't the brains, but Mr. Big cannot enact his plan without the muscle and the dame. We each play our roles on the road to material success. Okay, Page of Swords. The one-shot special Page of Swords tells the story of Mary Margaret McCallan, a brilliant young girl who uses science to torture her little brother. She develops a shrink ray to make him small enough to dissect. Oh my days! The Page of Swords is a card about youthful intelligence, bright ideas, and the irrepressible desire to learn. Oh, they shrunk a little brother. Oh dear. Okay. So the Page of Swords in the Pulp Tarot. The Page of Swords, like other pages, represents the neophyte. In this case, a newcomer to the world of ideas. She's young and enthusiastic, very sure of herself, brimming with style, ready to take on the world. In practical terms, she's an eager student, ready to soak up knowledge and ideas. So we've got basic meanings for the cards, which work really well. They work really well in both decks, actually, but this one does give you pause. It really does. And if you're not a fan of this sort of genre, then yeah, step away, because it's all there. It's all there in this deck anyway. Thank you so much for watching, and until my next video. Bye friends, bye.